Got me a bag, yeah, I need a leg, yeah, we bout to turn up. How the shit in the city, yo, who fucking with it, yeah, we bout to burn up. Wanna show a feature, we sell out the bitches, so please get your funds up. We bout to up 1 year, that's what you call a come up. It's the come up, baby.
Hard work and dedication is the reason why I'm going to Hollywood.
It's gotta be easier than this up there, 'cause it's so hard down here. She's dressed in blue, she misses you a little. Why did you leave so soon? Why did you really have to go?
Yo, it's your girl DJ Yunny checking in on another episode of the ComeUp radio station. I have Jerius here with me today. How you feeling?
Feeling good, feeling blessed.
Okay. So we're going to dive into some things. We're going to talk about some upcoming projects, some things you've already done, and some things you got coming up. Is that all right?
Of course.
All right, so let's start with Juneteenth. How was that event for you? How did that make you feel?
Juneteenth was like a rave of emotions for me. Just being able to, for the first time, be able to perform in Fountain Inn. Kind of coming from Lawrence and doing different stuff in like the area. It was like, damn, I'm trying to think what to say. I don't really know how to like
put it in words.
Yeah.
So was that your first time MCing?
Yes.
Okay. So did you have a fear of public speaking or anything like that before, or just large crowds, or were you kind of just winging it a little bit?
I've done public speaking events, but as far as like doing it with the guitar and doing it like, I guess, in front of my people, you know, it made it more of like a heartfelt type of thing.
Okay. So was that your first time doing anything with live instruments?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I've done most of my life after football, I've been a live musician. So
okay. So I just want to know, how did you get into opera? Like, that is, because I mean, most people when you hear opera and things like that, they're like, so you just do all these long, wide runs and stuff. But I know sometimes it is like a small piece of something else.
Yeah.
So is that your small piece of something else, or?
So like opera was the first thing I could do in college, basically. I could get classical voice lessons. So I figured if I had a full scholarship for football, and that was like the extracurricular thing we could do, was like anything dealing with art lessons or vocal lessons, it came inclusive. So
and what school is this?
Presbyterian College.
Okay. Shout out to Presbyterian College.
Yeah. And so from there, like I just invested my time into learning what opera was and what was the difference between opera singing and R&B singing or any singing. And at the end of the day, it's kind of all the same. You're using your voice, but you're just using it a different way. So my training is, that's why I'm the singer I am today, because of opera. So.
Okay. And the transition to R&B, do you feel like it was easier having opera? Because even for me as a DJ, because I know the piano and things of that nature, certain pockets are a lot easier for my ear because, you have that back. So is it the same way for you?
So like, I guess R&B is on its own. You kind of go off feeling, whereas opera is based off of notes. So you can feel it, but you got to feel it on the note, and you can't really do too much swinging and stuff like that. You sing it the way it's written, and that's kind of why I chose R&B, because I could be soul, I could be me through my music. So
okay, so you have what's called ROLLOUT coming up, is that correct? Waterfall.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Waterfall.
Yeah.
And you're dropping one song on the same day every week, or every 2 weeks? Every week. Okay. And you're just letting your audience pick the singles. So do you feel like that's a lot of pressure?
Yes and no.
Okay.
But it has to be pressure, you know? You got to have some kind of pressure to make it interesting. But I have a lot of music that I've just been working on for the past 3 years. So,
okay. So a lot of old, a lot of new, some a little older than others. So.
I don't like to say old. I say more nostalgic.
Okay. So are they all kind of the same creative direction, how you're dropping them, or it's just kind of like, this is how I feel for the week?
A little bit of both. So it's a story, kind of. It's going to be an album. I have the songs that I think are going to go on it in my head, but like I want to test out some other songs that I don't know might be good, might not, you know, and instead of just risking it all, letting the people help me decide like what's the best thing.
Okay, so you just leaving it open for constructive criticism, you know, good feedback, bad feedback, all of it.
Because the thing I might want, like the thing I'm like, oh, this is the song, this is the hit. Everybody might be like, nah, I wasn't feeling it.
Well, I will say, I personally feel like the best song on anybody's album is never the single. That's just my personal preference. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody has one, but the best song on the album is never the single. And I don't know if it's just a marketing thing or keep it light. And, you know, I don't know.
Silk Sonic.
Yeah. And I don't like it. I don't like it.
Huh? What?
Well, I think it's all in where my ear is at the time.
Okay.
Because what I might be listening for, it might be a great song or great structure of anything when I'm like, that's not where my ear is right this second. Because I could come back to it and I'm like, man, okay, that, and then behind this and that. And when I rearrange music, when I'm DJing, I don't know, it's like another layer, I guess. My ear is always looking for something to bring it alive. I don't know. That's the best way I can put it. So it's not like a hate churn. Please don't do that. Don't end my career. I just right this second, my ear is somewhere else. I'm on a Caribbean vibe right now.
Okay.
I'm on a Caribbean vibe. But enough of me. Back to you. How long do you feel like before college did you have any interest or take in music prior to that?
I was an actor. So I did musical theater. So I always used my voice in some capacity.
Okay.
But as far as being saying this is how I make money, I never really would have thought that would be my career. Like I thought I was going to be a lawyer my whole life. Went to school for political science, not even music. I got a minor in music and theater, but my senior year of college, I was just like, I love this. And I'm going to dedicate my money that I'm going to invest in the law school into what I would do for music. So that's what I did. It was rough at start. My family did not like it.
Tell me something. We can talk about that off camera. I got a story about that. I was in culinary school. I did culinary.
What?
I'm a DJ.
Hey. But you can still cook, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
I can still bake.
I throw down. Okay, I don't even like to eat out. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
But, so speaking of that, you don't have any management. You book all your own shows.
So I have management for my recording side.
Okay.
But for live shows, stuff like that, it's just me. Yeah, I book my own shows.
Okay. So that doesn't ever feel overwhelming, or you just choose to want to be a little more hands-on in that area, kind of learning for yourself? What's the thought process of it?
It's hard to find good help.
Well, listen. I can't even. We could end the interview on that one. It is hard to find good help. So when you say that, is there anything in particular that you look for as far as in your management? Like, you want them to work the hours you do? Do they need the same drives, or is it, the same morals?
Is key. Drive is important, but overall dedication, being willing to dedicate time when you don't want to. When it's Saturday and you could be chilling and doing nothing, and you got to be at a show or at a studio session, or being able to make the phone calls, take the phone calls, it's a lot that comes with it. And I have help from different areas, but like as far as having a role for that person, it's just not. It hasn't been in the cards yet. But my manager that I have for the recording side has helped me out tremendously. He's the reason why I've been able to get connected with Henry, who's the producer I work with.
Shout out to Henry and the manager.
Yeah, and Verse.
Shout out to Verse.
Yeah, so yeah, extremely blessed for the people that are in my corner. But on the live music side, eventually I'd like to get more of a person who could lock in for that role to just say, all right, this is what we're focused on, is getting shows booked. And I kind of view myself as a two-dimensional artist. Like my live music side versus my recording side is almost two different artistries. So
As it should be. Your live version should not sound like your studio version.
Right.
I feel like it's kind of lazy a little bit, but we won't get into that either. If they sound the same, because you're just not putting any effort into growing, kind of doing something different, constantly reinventing, because it keeps you on your toes. Nobody's going to see the same show.
Right.
So I definitely understand that. Now the album.
Yeah.
What has the feedback been? What has the total just love, the response of it?
From the Silver Lining?
Yes.
Overall, positive. The general kind of message I was getting, though, was that it sounded so much different than the mainstream that it was hard for some people to just gel to it on a everyday basis. Like they liked the music, but what was making them turn it on? So the new focus has been to make, I guess, music that is more, I hate to say mainstream, but music that is geared more towards a popular sound.
Right. And I like to call those songs the fillers for the album.
Sure.
Like the songs you kind of don't want to do, but you know you gotta do.
Yeah.
Those are those space fillers. And do you feel like it's harder to create when you're creating those radio singles? Or the pocket is a little more narrow, or?
Yeah, not really. I feel like it's all about how you go into creating it. Like I don't go into anything creating it with the sound like, okay, this needs to be on the radio. Like I just create keeping everything in mind. And I play most of the instruments on pretty much all of the projects. So usually,
what are those instruments? You gotta, this is what you do. We gotta talk about your art.
Bass. Well, on the project I do acoustic bass, electric bass, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, piano, keyboard, percussion, vocals, and background vocals. And I do voices, like impersonations. And,
okay.
Not really impersonations, but I have
just adding that extra layer to the album.
Yeah, character. Yeah.
So you have like a couple interludes.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully those voices make it, get you a big check for something else in the future.
That's the plan.
Now you are getting ready to have an event November the 17th, correct? At the Coffee Underground?
The 15th.
The 15th.
And the 15th at the Coffee Underground and the 18th at Palmetto Brothers Dispensary.
Okay. So you're performing with 17 other artists at the Coffee Underground, right?
I think it's at 19.
19 now? Yeah. That is dope.
Yeah,
that's so dope.
Final artist.
You're the final artist.
Yeah.
What is that? So you're like headline. Like, how does that make you feel? Like, what are your song choices for things like that? Like, how do you sit down and put together your show bits?
For this type of event, like, and I guess anything that's like a showcase, I like to look at the other artists that are also performing and just kind of see the general vibe. I don't like to imitate or copy or anything like that, but just to have a general sense of how it's going to flow. Because I might go for a more, like I did a Night of Soul in West Greenville. It's probably like earlier this year. and it was a soul night. Mostly people who were going to be 40s, 50s, even 60s. So I knew I could do more soulful stuff. This one is more younger, people who are going to be 18 to maybe 30. So, like, I'm gearing more stuff that people, I guess, would vibe to in that age bracket. So.
Right. And then there's the people like me who are caught in between the 50.
Me too.
The 50 and the 25.
Yeah.
So how do you structure songs for people like us that are caught in the middle?
If I'm doing originals, it's typically stuff that is more sexual, more I guess, I don't want to say provocative, but more direct and more like, I guess, a different side of what I would typically talk about,
right?
On the positive aspect.
Okay. So are you more of a full live band when you do live performances, or are you more on the, just the mic stand, a chair? Everybody's stage presence is different. So I want to know. We're learning about Jerius right now.
I'm a one-man show for the most part.
Okay.
I perform with live bands, but just like I said, good help is hard to find. I've learned that if I give myself, the task, and I can do it with my hands and whatever, usually I can rely on myself more sometimes than other people helping me out. And that's no jab to others,
right.
But things happen, life happens, and you got to check for a show you already got paid for. You got to make sure you do the show. You don't have,
right.
I'm not feeling good.
Yeah, good business.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you had to describe your overall artistry to 3 artists currently, who would they be? They don't have to be currently on the radio, just they've been in the game, whether they stroked a guitar or, sing, even if they're a writer. Who would you say you kind of vibe with on the frequency?
On influence?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Womack.
Okay.
For sure. Only 3.
Okay, we can do 5. I got some stories about Bobby Womack. Man.
Bobby Womack for sure. I'm gonna say Common, which is a completely different way, but Robert Glasper, Gregory Porter, which is a up and coming jazz great to me. He's one of the greatest. And then probably like Quincy Jones at 5. So.
That is a hell of a mashup. But I love it because it's not your typical. Some of these names, I know somebody listening is like, who is that? Right. They have officially Googled. But I like that. It's very broad, but it's not at the same time. I feel like when we're talking about just penmanship and sonically, I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
Now this, I don't want to cuss, but I'm digging this outfit. That's not what I wanted to say, but we're going to keep it G-rated. I'm vibing with the outfit.
Southern
I'm loving
District,
it.
Clinton, South Carolina. You got to check them out.
Y'all heard that? Southern
District, yeah.
So, have you always had the swag?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. So, how did you get here? Like, who kind of inspired you a little bit?
I got to say this, my sister. She helped me.
It's always a woman. You hear that, man? Get you a woman with some style.
It's a man's world, but he's nothing without his woman.
Definitely. Shout out to sis. So she just started styling you for your shows or like photo shoots?
Yeah, so I kind of, once I finished with American Idol, I knew that when I
It's
left.
the way you just subtly I was just done with American Idol, whatever. Like, we're not going to speed past that. Run it back, Turbo. American Idol. Like, that's so dope.
Thank you. But everybody there had a look. Everybody had, and it wasn't always good looks, but it was a look. And when I went, I was wearing all black with a hat, and I think I had my glasses, and that was it. That's just who I was. And even though I could sing just as good as anybody, I didn't have that TV image, that branding. So when I got back, I was like, I need to find swag. Like, what is that? What is that sense? I had swag, but it was like golf swag. I wore khaki pants, golf shirt.
Oh, it was giving my alma mater. Just say that.
It was a PWI swag, but I don't know. When I connected with my sister, she just kind of helped me find out what I liked, and I never really did that. So she was like my first stylist, and then after her, actually Southern District, who I shouted out, who helps me with everything. He actually became my official like stylist guy.
So were you always into sneakers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so that makes it. You see how easy that makes it when you're into shoes, and when you start putting outfits together, it's like super easy.
You got the shoes, you get everything else.
Okay. So, when you like really, really get on, you gotta write sis a thank you check. I'm on your side, sister. You gotta get a thank you check because
this is gonna be the only part of the interview she tags. Did you see this part? Don't forget the check.
I'm on your side. Now, how long have you been with your manager on your recording side? How long have y'all been rocking?
We went to college together. We played football together. So we've been homies since 2016. We've been official management partners since 2019. And I guess we became really, really official in 2020 during the pandemic. So.
And how was that a challenge transitioning from homeboys to now, okay, look, we do business. Yes. You feel me? Like
yes.
I tell everybody that is so hard when you transition friends and family into business because we business right now and they want to kiki and ha and no, it's not the time.
It has its pros. It definitely has its cons, but I think the pros outweigh the cons for us just because I was an offensive lineman and he was a defensive back, so we played different types of positions.
Right.
So it's not like we were in the same groups or anything like that. So it helps our mindset a little bit being opposites. So, yeah. Okay.
Now we got your engineer here, Mr. Ross.
Yeah.
Ross the Boss. Can I make that your nickname? Can I give you a nickname?
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Look, you can tell me yes or no. I just, I want you to feel comfortable. Now, Ross, you say you've been in the business 4 years, right?
Yeah.
And how long have you and Jerius been doing business together?
2 years. Is it
going on 3? Yeah.
Damn. 3 years, man. That's fast.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun or making money, whichever one,
We gotta get a backtrack on Ross. I'm gonna tell it. He's a trumpet player as well.
Ross plays the trumpet. Okay, so did you play in school?
Yeah, that was how I got into college.
Okay.
And everything. Yeah, growing up, I was on the other side. Like, I was mainly playing and grew up playing jazz and playing with some, like, big bands. And was blessed, got to tour, like, Italy and Scandinavia and whatnot. And then, like, during around the pandemic time, that was when my life transitioned from the playing side more towards the engineering and production side. Yeah, and I've just been running with that.
So how many people have you pissed off because you said, yeah, this is trash. After I mixed it down, you got to go back in and redo this?
Only maybe a couple.
Because I'm like, are you? Because you can't just go along. You got to be like, nah, I need you to do this again.
Yeah, especially starting out. Yeah, because I was just kind of working with like local people, mainly around like Charlotte and North Carolina, and some places like that. And yeah, everything wasn't always the best quality.
Understandable. I can believe it. So, how long have you been in Atlanta?
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's like the Mecca now. That's the capital for all the music.
Oh, yeah. Like Hollywood.
Yeah, literally. So, how has it been for you? I mean, because we always talk about the hardships we have as African Americans, but even being Caucasian, it's always the Eminem comparisons, and it's not really a lot of Caucasian people who get into R&B, engineering, anything like that. So do you have a pushback too? Like when people hear your ear and you like, man, I'm not doing that again. That's a hit,
Honestly, I've been lucky. Like I've been really blessed. Like I haven't had too many problems with it. Everything's been really good. Like More so, my problems I had at first, especially like that first year, is just like when the money ran out. But like I had saved up moving down there, so just like trying to figure out like I was blessed to be at 11th Street Studios where we met at that time. So yeah, just trying to like figure out how to keep things going there that first year. That was my problems I was having. But
Man.
yeah, once I got through that, like everything's just been great. Yeah.
And you still here.
Yeah.
That's so dope. Like, I love to hear the background, you know, because everybody doesn't always get mommy, daddy funded it. You know, sometimes you got to hit the pavement and keep going. So I'm glad you're still here and you got a lot to do.
Yeah, no, we've been staying busy. It's been good.
We working.
Yeah.
Now, Jerius, we do what's called Minute of Motivation, where we tell the people some words of encouragement just to keep them going. You know, a little wisdom, a little nugget. So what would you have to say for anybody coming up with a minor in music or even opera, yodeling, anything? Because, you know, that's what K. Michelle went to school for.
Yodeling?
Yeah, she had a yodeling scholarship at FAMU.
To yodel?
To yodel. And now she was just on the CMAs last night with the judge.
What?
Yeah. But she did R&B all these years, but now she going country.
Well, look at that.
So just knowing that and just knowing, you know, you did opera and things like that, what would be your motivation?
I would say anything you do with an art, you have to be patient. And Rome was not built in a day. When I was learning how to become a singer, the first 2 years of it, really, I didn't enjoy. Like I was that student that was getting voice lessons that didn't practice, just showed up to the lesson and was like, all right, let's do it.
All right, Allen Iverson, just showing up.
But I learned, like, you know, if you really want to be the best, if you want to be the best version of yourself, you got to practice. And that just makes sense any way you dice it. You know, practice makes permanent. So, but you got to remember practice is going to suck sometimes and you're not going to want to do it. And the lessons are going to be hard and difficult, but you have to go through it. So that's in the music industry too. Like,
yes,
being in the music industry is not all peaches and cream, but you have to find the silver lining in all aspects of life, no matter what you do. If you're a musician, if you're a chef, if you are a lawyer, if you're a DJ, whatever, you have to find what makes you do that every single day. And once you find that, you'll be happy. Definitely.
Now, where can the people find you at, Jerius? What's your socials?
Everywhere. Jerius Duncan. I'm going to spell it out. Jerius. That's my first name. J as in James. E as in everybody. R as in rich. I as in infinite. U as in under. S as in subway. And then Duncan like Tim Duncan. But yeah, Duncan. But you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify under that name. And then X, you can find me at JDunk52. And then, also, if you need any help with Centos needs, I also work with Centos and can do any orders or any custom, anything that you need. So let me know.
All right, Ross, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Ross, ROSS 828HC. And then on TikTok, it just has a 1 on front of it. So 1 Ross 828HC. So got you on any mixing, mastering, and production needs. And on the mixing and mastering, got you on the label quality without the label rates. So
y'all heard the man. Y'all heard him. And you can find me, DJ Yunny 103 on Instagram. And on Facebook, y'all know the first name is Crazy, TYTIUNI, last name Martin, and this is the Come Up. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
Just got me a bag, yeah, I need a lag, yeah, we bout to turn up. Hot as shit in the city, yo, who fucking with it, yeah, we bout to burn up. Wanna show a feature, we sell out the bitches, so please get your funds up. We bout to up 1 year, that's what you call a come up. It's the Come Up, baby.